Hi everybody, welcome to another Facebook Live with Jeannie. I am Jeannie Nielsen, the card lady, and I'm so excited to be here with you today. Today, we are not going to do a fun fold card. We are going to make a card, and I decided that I should almost call it something like something old, something new, something borrowed, something blue, because I am going to use a couple of stamp sets that are older, not retired. We are going to use some newer stamp sets that are going to retire. I think you'd better get on this one because you're going to love it. I've decided the newer stamp set that is going to retire is going to be my product of the week. So what I'm going to do is give you at least 3 more samples with this card. So you may not have this stamp set, you're going to want to buy it, but you can at least use the sketches of the cards to make your own cards. So that's the plan. We'll see how much I stick to it. I've been very consistent with quite a bit of everything so far. But, you know, I also have a full-time job and I've been taking care of my husband. Many of you know, if you live around here, thanks for your concern. My husband has COVID. He's doing well. He's actually back to work here in the house and follows me, and I have to make sure he stays away from me. But he's doing fine. I have been fine all along, testing negative, back to work, the whole 9 yards. But anyway, I'm excited about this card. This, the borrowed is a sketch. Actually, the colors and the sketch are from somebody that I found or follow online. So I'm going to share the card that I made with you using her colors, her sketch. It isn't the same stamp set, so I loved her stamp set. I believe it came from Sharon Armstrong way back when. A couple weeks ago I got an email. But anyway, let's get to this. Oh, first things first. I promised everybody that if you left me a comment last week that I was going to choose comments, and what I did was I listed everybody that left me any kind of comment, even if it was just a hello. My dogs are barking up. Luckily, I brought Mickey upstairs because he would have been sitting right here and barking right next to me. Anyway, I wrote everybody's name down that left me a comment, put a number next to their name, and then I went online to the random number generator, spun twice, and we have a card. Did I end up? Yes, I did. Okay, so I'm going to ask you guys to send me your a private message and send me your address so I can send this to you. Juanita, you get this card. You were chosen for this. Hi, Rose. Good to see you. I'm so excited to see you. We had fun stamping together the other day online. Nancy Finley was the one that got this card that I actually made in my Facebook Live last week. So Nancy and Juanita, send me your addresses for snail mail, and I'll get those in the mail to you. I'll start doing more of that. We will figure other things to do. Hi, Maria. Hi, everybody. If once I flip down, I won't see you. I have to say, there are some demonstrators that are so coordinated. They can have the computer going, watch their comments, they can stamp, they can still look pretty, and they can still find everything. I'm not your girl. Definitely not your girl. I'm a little bit uncoordinated. I lose things if they're not right under my nose, and even sometimes if they are, and I definitely can't do 2 things at the same time. So that means that if you ever want to join my team, you'd be a great addition because you could probably help me navigate through these areas where I have my weaknesses. Anyway, let's get on to things. I'm going to share the card with you that we're making. I am going to use, did I take the stamp set with me? Where did I put the stamp set? It's under here someplace. Didn't I tell you it has to be right under my nose? So thank you, Charlotte. I see you too. Thank you for watching. Thank you, everybody. Make sure you leave a comment, and I promise I am going to definitely send more cards out. The stamp set that we're going to use is Kite Delight. It's from the mini catalog, and it may not be something that appeals to you, but I'll tell you why it appealed to me. I needed something to showcase this technique that I'm going to do. And I also saw something in one of these stamps that we're going to make today that is perfect for Memorial Day. So I'm going to show you that a little bit more in just a second. So let me flip down. Hopefully I have everything I need, and we're going to see you on the other side of the video. Okay, so here we go. I have to flip down. and put my glasses on. Okay, here we go. Okay, this here is my messy desk. No idea where my host code is. Oh, here it is. May host code if you feel inspired to buy any of these products. Okay, so this is Kite Delight. Beautiful, beautiful stamp set. It's really fun. Wishes for a Carefree Day. That's actually, this is the card that I did, and I'm going to show you the technique that I did. I got to figure out where I am. I can kind of, I'm probably high enough that I can see what I'm doing, which probably means that when I stamp, I'm going to have to go lower so that you can see what I'm doing. Anyway, the colors are Balmy Blue, Flirty Flamingo, and Blushing Bride. I really kind of thought that this was cute, and I'm going to show you a really cool technique. And this is the new. Stampin' Up! Has a new product you guys are actually the first that I get to use this on. It's called the masking paper. It's on page 149 in the catalog. There's a package of 12 for $7. These are sheets of masking paper. And what you can do is mask things. And you'll see that that's what I did for the cloud right here. I punched out the cloud with my cloud punch. And then I used my blending brush, which is in here someplace. There's my blending brush getting squished, and Balmy Blue, and I sponged the sky. The first time I did it and I masked, and I had all the blue, I had the stark white of the sky, and it was a little bit too much. I think I'm going to try it again this time, and maybe leave it as white as I did before. But so I'm going to be able to use this again. So this is just it's kind of tacky. It's not extremely sticky. Actually, I did have a little bit of trouble peeling it off the paper at first, and I thought, oh no, this is not good because I don't want to rip my paper after doing all this technique. But when you stick it down, because I'm going to use it again, it's just like a Post-it note. You know, after you use a Post-it note a little bit, it isn't quite as sticky. Okay, so I said that I was going to share this. I was going to do another card. I'm actually going to step it up a tiny bit. I'm going to add a couple of layers and some jewels to it and pop up a little bit more. You're going to see what we're going to do with this and what I mean when I said Memorial Day. Don't you see a flag in this stamp set? I definitely see a flag there. So we're going to do that. We're going to use our Stamparatus and color with markers. We're going to sponge with the masking paper and our blending brush. We're going to pop up and we're going to just have some fun with this card. Let me put this away. So the old, we'll get to that in a second when I finish working on this card, but I've already cut some of the pieces here. I have here a 5.5 by 8.5 piece of real red cardstock. I've scored it at 4 1/4 already, and I folded it. Now I'm going to tell you guys, because it bears repeating, I always score a whole piece of paper and then cut it in half because that saves me a step. I won't have to score the next time. I put it in my drawer, and then when I'm ready to make a card, I can just pull it out and it's ready to go. The bump right here, the mountain, is what goes on the inside of your card so you don't break your fibers or your paper. So I use my bone folder, kind of burnish the edge a little bit. Set this aside for just a second. The next thing I'm going to do is, oh boy, I've got so much going on here, but it's okay. It's okay. I wanted to show you something, but I'll save that for the end. One of the embellishments I was going to use. Okay, so let's first start, yes. Let's start with the beginning. Isn't that remember Sound of Music? She always said, let's start at the very beginning. It's a very good place to start. That's as far as I'm going to go with my singing, but you know what I mean. We are going to start at the beginning. Okay, I have here my pad. I have some scrap paper. We're going to put this under here so I can do my blending. I've got my Balmy Blue here. Please don't comment on my singing. It's really bad, I know. I do sing in a choir, but because of that, I blend in really well. I would never do a solo by any means. Okay, what I'm going to do, I've already punched this out. So I used the cloud punch and I punched this out. I'm going to put this on my paper, however I want it. Let's put it up here a little bit more so that I can have my sentiment down there. So when I do the blending brush, either start off your paper, you see how you get that smudge initially? It does end up that when you are using your blending brush, eventually and very quickly, you don't have a whole lot of ink there. But that first initial smudge, it's pretty dramatic. So I always start off and then I add more. So you can do that as often as you want. I don't want it to be too, I don't want too many. I mean, I could do it. I could definitely, and I'm going to leave a little bit more white this time than I did with my last card. So this was my last card and I did it really quite blue. I'm going to leave a little bit more white, but let's peel this off and see what we did. This is such a cool technique. So obviously you can save your, isn't that so cool? You can see right there, the cloud. I can save this for another use if I remember where I put it, but that's a big if. You guys know that. You definitely know that. Okay, let me put the balmy blue away for just a second. This week when Bob was sick, I was kind of in my bedroom. He was in the guest room. I was in my bedroom, or I was down here, or I was walking the dogs. Now, when I said in my initial post, when I was saying, come watch me in an hour, you're not going to be doing this today, it's kind of rainy and dreary and gray, and it's definitely not kite flying day. So that's what I meant. Okay, I'm going to put Starry Sky aside for a second. What I want to do next, I think I'm going to set that aside, and I'm going to use my Stamparatus. Now, I don't need my Stamparatus because of a technique or anything. I don't need my Stamparatus because of, you know, because it has to be perfectly placed. I actually am using my Stamparatus because I am going to color the stamp. And when I color it, if there are gaps missing when I do it, I can go back and color again and restamp. So that's why I'm doing it. It's not because it has to be perfectly placed. What I noticed with this particular stamp, it works best if you use the side of your marker. So I have my Real Red Stampin' marker. This is the classic marker, the regular Stampin' markers, not the blends. One thing you definitely don't ever want to do is color your blends, color your photopolymer with your blends. And I really mean that. You will find out in a hurry what I'm talking about. It's going to stain your stamp. I didn't mean to do that. I can't really see the line. When I initially did this, I took this, I'm going to do that right now. I took this off so I could see what I was doing. You can kind of see what I'm doing. I'm using the side of my stamp and coloring. So this is the red. And the reason I'm coloring is because I do want those white lines to make it look like a flag. If I end up doing it on the side, I'm going to get in all those grooves and it's not going to look quite as classy. Now, the good thing about this, and hopefully it's going to work, is that when you're using your Stamparatus, you usually don't get all those gaps. Boy, oh boy, this is really, I don't know why this is lifting like this. I might have to do the red over again one last time before I stamp it, because it's just kind of, it's not bubbling. That's not really the word for it, but it's almost like the stamp isn't conditioned, which it is. But okay, I've got my Starry Sky marker too. We're using Starry Sky. I could definitely do Night of Navy, but I wanted to use the new. So I'm going to use, again, the side of the brush, or the tip, the broad tip. You're not going to use your writing tip for this. You'll never get anywhere. Okay, sorry this is so slow. You guys all know how to do this probably, right? You know how to color your stamps with the, a lot of times I find it doesn't work as well with the photopolymer as it does with the our clear cling stamps. Not clear, but you know, our cling stamps. I think they call them clear stamps, but anyway. Okay, we're gonna do this once more, hope for the best. And then the thing I can do also is go over it with my marker. See, I don't know if you can see it, but it just, the red just keeps on insisting on lifting and separating. Got to do the blue once more because I just got some red right there. Okay, so just like when you're using markers on stamps regularly, I'm going to put this right in here. I put this in the corner so I know where it was. I have to huff on this. You want your hot air. You don't blow on it. You don't want to cool it off. You need to huff on it so that the hot, moist air reactivates that ink. So let's go like that. Oh, well, you know, in my dreams, this looked a lot better. Let's go over this once more. A tiny bit. It looks like I needed a little bit at the top here. This is how things go. You know, you go online and you expect perfection. You definitely expect perfection from me, probably. I expect perfection. How many of you guys are big perfectionists? It holds me back sometimes, and I'm trying to get more carefree like that, about that. Let's just do one at a time so that we can make sure we have time with our red too. Dry that off. That's probably doesn't help with it. If it's wet, that's not going to help it not separate either. Let's do that. And once more down at the bottom. See, I'm not being a perfectionist as much, and it's going to work out much better, right? Okay. There we go. Not half bad. This would probably be a lot easier with Memento and then coloring, but how would you get the red and blue if you did that? I don't think you could. So now what I'm going to do is take this, set this aside, and I'm going to use my paper snips very quickly and just cut this out. And luckily this is a diamond shape, so this is not going to take me all that long to do. So you remember that I said I was going to I was going to make this a little bit more. This first card is probably almost good for a casual, a beginner stamper. It wouldn't take much. I mean, the technique is a little something, but I would walk you through that. So it's not much to make this card at all. This is going to be just a tiny bit more stepped up, a tiny bit more involved because we're coloring the stamp. That's a technique. We're doing the masking, of course. Where is my piece of paper? Here we go. Got a couple of other things. I'm going to put a layer. This is one of the in color sheets, the Starry Sky. This is one of the patterns. And I was looking at this trying to figure out what to do. And I think I'm going with the polka dots, and I'm going to run out of these polka dots very quickly because I tend to love polka dots and go towards them. But the reason I'm saying polka dots is because it kind of brings in the polka dots of this too. Now this looks very rustic, very casual, but you're going to see what I'm going to do with this card. Hopefully. This is the plan. See, I like the plaid too, but the plaid is a little busy. So we're not going to do the plaid. We're going to use our green glue, my Tombow glue. And for me, I like that better than the Seal or Seal Plus. I feel like I can control this. I've been using this for years. And the trick for me is that I don't squeeze it really hard and I keep the tip moving. I think that's the biggest tip that I can give you if you're going to use green glue. Of course, the green glue is nothing like your Elmer's from grade school. I'll never forget doing a brownie event when my kids were in Girl Scouts and Boy Scouts. I did a brownie event and boy, oh boy, glue everywhere. Okay, so I've got a little square here. This is just a 1 3/4 inch square. This piece of paper, this basic white, is 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. What I'm going to do is just glue this square to the corner down here, just like in my sketch right here. So I feel like the best way to do it is just to add glue to my square and then position it. Don't go all the way to the edge, of course, because I just want it peeking out. And I'm going to have that probably, I think I'm going to put it right there, right on the edge of the blue instead of on the edge of the red. If I had thought ahead, I might have done it differently. I don't know if I'm going to pop that up. Hang on a second. Let's get to this again. I got my kite here. And what I have here, I thought this was kind of cool. One of the kite strings are stars. So we are going to do some stars. And you know what? I can do up as high as I want because I really don't want to hide the sentiment. I'm going to take this sentiment off because I'm not going to use it this time. So what I'm going to do is kind of do it, well, I guess we'll do it like that. I inked up my memento beforehand because I was getting a little spotty results, which is why I'm now getting over juicy results. I have my Daffodil Delight, my dark Daffodil Delight. Oh, let's wait on that till that dries a tiny bit more, maybe. I can pop this up with dimensionals on the card. Don't you guys just love dimensionals? Even if your card is a beginner card, you use dimensionals and people ooh and ah over it and think it's just amazing. I'm not going to put that too far because see, my dimensionals are showing. So I guess because I know that, I may pop this up. Let's see. No, I think I'm going to do it just like that. Let's glue it straight down because I also have my sentiment yet. So we'll do it like that. See, that's not a whole lot of glue. It's enough. It's not going anywhere, that's for sure. And I'm going to put that centered on my right side of my matte layer. Boy, you can't even see the blue. I guess I didn't really need to do a whole lot with that, but okay. So I got a little bit more to step it up. So I have this. This is the In Color Glimmer paper, and I have my Pick a Label punch, and we are going to punch some of that off, and we're going to put that down here, I think. I almost think I wanted it to go the other way, but that's okay. That is okay. I've already stamped this, and this is my Something Old. Miles Apart, but still in my heart. Now, what I had in mind when I made this was that I was going to have this to give to somebody, perhaps it could be sent to somebody that's serving across seas or a National Guard or whatever. You know, somebody that's serving our country. And by saying miles apart, but still in my heart, I could send the card to them. But this is a card that you could also send to a friend around Memorial Day. So there's all sorts of things. But I really wanted to make a point of doing this to thank those that serve our country. You know, I could never do that. I am such a wimp, I have to say. So I'm so thankful to anybody that does that for me and keeps me safe and free. Wow, that's just all I can say. Okay, so I've also punched that. So I've got two. These are both 3/4 of an inch. I believe this was 4 inches and I believe this was 3 3/4. Do I still have my, I was gonna see, you know what I could use is, got my paper trimmer here. Let's use my paper trimmer to measure this because I can't remember seriously how much it was. I think I just took off about 1/8 of an inch. Okay, so yes, this was 3 3/3, which means I believe this was 4 inches. And I took a little nibble off of that too. It ends up maybe even 4 1/8. It ends up taking a little bit more off of that when you use the label and you stick it in all the way. That's just a tip too. If you are ever punching but you don't want, you make sure, okay, how do I say this? If I can see, what I would do, if I knew that it went right to the edge, I would put this in upside down, slide it in so that I could see my, stamping and make sure I wasn't going to stamp. And what I would do is, well, this is the wrong one. I would do it to this one. But if I saw my stamping there, I'd pull it back just so that I could just get the that little fork very easily. Sorry, having trouble spitting out my words. Okay, let's add this in color glimmer paper. Isn't this so pretty? It's like an ombre. You've got it in all 5 colors in the package. And I'm going to put that right to the end of the card. And let's see. Gonna pop this side up. You guys all, I told you at the beginning that Bob was positive, but I've been negative. I've been feeling fine, and I've stayed away from him. And in fact, it worked to my advantage. And we were both vaccinated and boosted and whatever, but it definitely worked to my advantage to be working all weekend because I was nowhere near him a good part of the time. He went to the Celtics game. In fact, is there a Celtics game tonight? I think there is. Go Celtics. Look at how cool that is. Okay, now I'm going to use my Daffodil Delight blend. Now that I've got this all, now that my Memento has already set, so to speak, dried. I don't want to smear that. And what I might do, just to make it look like a shiny star, I don't know if this is going to work or not, but I'm going to take my color lifter and just in one side of it, just take a little of the, lift a little of the Daffodil Delight out, and maybe it'll look like it's shining, like it's shimmering in the sun. That's what I wanted to show you. I was thinking it would have been great if I could have used some actual trinkets or embellishments. And look at these. These are flowers trinkets. Would you ever think that those are flowers? To me, they don't look like flowers. They look like stars. And they come in brass, champagne, and silver. So that would have been perfect to add to that. But alas, I didn't see it. I didn't order it. So it's on my next order. Do you ever see that? Somebody suggests something and all of a sudden you got to place another order. Well, that would be me. Okay, I have here, and I've already done this because I see it laying here. It's not because I did it ahead of time. It's because it didn't work for another card and I see it laying right there, and we're going to take advantage of it. This is the metallic ribbon. This is the in color metallic ribbon. On this card, I used some white twine. You know how we have the essentials pack of the white of the twine. Comes in vanilla and white and black and crumb cake, and I can't remember the last, gray is the last one, 5 packages. I love Baker's twine, I really, really do. But I wanted to kind of make this special. So we're going to, since it has a glue dot on it, it's already tied, my work is done. So, trimming off my ends. Isn't that so pretty? So you've got miles apart, but still in my heart, meant for either the veteran or actually somebody serving is what I was thinking. I have yet one more thing that I wanted to do, and let me see. I've got my white cardstock. Here we go. I'm going to stamp something on the inside. And this comes from the new Happiness Abounds stamp set. So I was even thinking the happy and heartfelt would have been great. I would have said maybe just the thank you, because really that's what we are mean to say right now for Memorial Day. It's a fun day for picnics. I'm working the entire weekend, 3 days, but seriously, the whole point of this is remembering all those that have gone before us, which has made this day possible. So there's really nothing in Kite Delight for that. But like I said, I'm going to show you more products. That is my product of the week. So I'm going to show you more stamping with that and save that for you. Happiness Abounds, sending many thanks for all you do. I think that's going to be perfect. So this was the old Lovely You, along with the Pick a Banner Punch that worked really well. I think they went together as a bundle last year. They're not available as a bundle anymore. Happiness Abounds is a new stamp set. One I'm going to use is the Sentiment. It is a photopolymer sentiment. I was going to stamp it in Starry Sky, but I don't think I'm going to. I think because it's got some script and whatever, that I probably would be better off stamping in Memento. And I have one more idea for this. So I'm not standing up, so hopefully I'm stamping straight. Not terribly bad, huh? I really love that you guys join me. You guys give me purpose to go to my stamp room every week and make these cards. I have thousands of cards, but there's nothing better than more cards. So thank you for joining me, always. We are going to stamp just like because I'm not good at stamping the insides, but that's my New Year's resolution. My new catalog resolution is to stamp the inside. We're going to do it with the stamp instead, because I can stamp it with a Memento and I can use my blends. So let's do it. We're going to stamp up here. Beautiful. And then I do need to add some tails, but you know what? I'm thinking if I add tails through my sentiment, it's going to be very distracting. So I don't think we're going to add tails. I have an old journaling marker. You can use your black Stampin' Write marker. And I'm just going to, we'll just go like that. And let's just give it some loopy strings right there. And that's all we have to do. Okay, so now what I want to do is use my Stampin' Write markers. No, Stampin' Blends. Okay, so I have the Real Red and the Starry Sky. So real easy pattern here. Just alternate. Because I'm trying to stay in the line, so I'm actually using the finer tip. It might go faster with the other one, but I know me. I color outside of the lines when I color with that broad tip, with the brush tip. And I'm going to try and stay in the lines because I'm on camera. I wish you guys were in the room right here with me and you could say, you know, I think you should use the light one instead of that. I think you should try the white twine instead of that ribbon. I really wish you were here. And that's the fun thing that has happened since COVID. We have gone online. We have gone to our Zooms. And like Rose, I've gotten to know Rose a lot better because of my upline, Marilyn. We've done a few Zooms, not as many as they do. I think they do it several times a week. But my schedule is so erratic with my sleeping schedule that I'm definitely not dependable to be there a couple times a week. Oh, speaking of schedules, so this afternoon I went and did a little bit of shopping, getting ready for my stamping retreat, which is coming up in 24 days, guys. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited. It's a carnival theme, and I promise no clowns, except I did find a fun paper game with clowns that I may end up using. So nothing scary. I promise. I know clowns are scary to a lot of people. This won't be scary. Don't you love this card? I love this card. It turned out just like I wanted it to, without knowing what it was going to do. So there we go. This is the inside, nicely colored. Send it to whoever you want. So it's not going to be in time for Memorial Day, but I am going to choose some people again next week. So make sure, hurry up and leave some comments. And if you share the video, I'm also going to put you in for a second time. But anyway, and I may even throw in a cute embellishment like those flower trinkets that I don't have. I may throw in with this card for whoever I choose next week. So what do you think, guys? Isn't it cute? So you've got your masking, you've got your coloring with markers on your stamps, you've got your blending, and you've got your using your Stampin' Blends. We've used the punch, we've popped up. We had fun today, didn't we? Okay, I'm going to go back and say thank you so much for watching me. Yikes, that was fun. I hope you had a good time. I had a great time. And oh, thank you so much, Rose. I appreciate it. To anybody that shares my video and to anybody that watches. And if you follow me, I appreciate you so much. Just love you guys. This was fun. So I will see you next week, next Thursday at 6 o'clock, and we will do this again. Everybody in my house is going to be healthy, and I might even have another fun fold card for you. So talk to you very, very, very soon. Have a wonderful day, and make sure if you leave me comments, make sure you realize that I'm going to comment back. So look for my comments to come back. Sometimes it takes me a day or 2 or 3, but I will comment. Love you guys. Bye.